What's good, everyone? Another backtesting session. So this one is coming in late for some unforeseen reasons. When we look at the daily time frame, we're going to analyze the NAS 100. I took one trade while I was backtesting, but I decided to turn on the stream so I can, give some updates. So first of all, let's go to the weekly. You can see that we are currently in this. We haven't passed this last week's low and high. It means we can have our first liquidity levels marked. Yeah, so we have this previous weekly high, and we've also got our previous weekly low right here. Can adjust it a bit, and looking closer on the daily, you can see that this order block is about to be respected by pushing higher. So maybe we can mark it on the 4 hour or somewhere like that. 4 hour, you can see that it was tapped into 4 hour order block. If it ain't broke, don't fix it up on my toe. So on the 2 hour now, you can see that we've got a sweep and then a shift. Now we've got a gap. So if we touch into this gap, we might expect it to push higher. If we respect this fair value gap, which coincides with this inverse fair value gap as well. So this is a 2 hour fair value gap. You can see that on the 1 hour it was actually tapped in. So maybe let's see if the 2 hour does it, and then we can expect to push higher to this previous weekly high or this one. So it's currently we're about to start PM session on Monday. So maybe around the 5. I usually would like a better entry on the 5 minute than on any other time frame. So let's see if we get a small drop as we needed. Okay, it looks like we aren't going to respect this one, but when you go to the 1 hour, you can see something that the fair value gap was this one. You'll be wondering why I changed the time frame. Is because we are already in the PM session, and I was already starting to see confirmation that this day might actually take us onto this high. Because when you go to the daily, you can see that this is a pretty bullish day, and on the 4 hour, this last candle is about to have a small push. We might have a small push. Let's go back on the 5 minute now. Let's see, we created a small fair value gap inside here, which made us push, which means we can look for a good trade in here and target the high. This one, what is it? This one. So it's at 9192. 9192. So this is in 2020. You can notice that I switched the time frame, the dates I traded, because I was 9192 somewhere here. I changed the days because, well, Trump regime wouldn't affect anything. Oh, okay, stopped out. And Trump regime wouldn't actually change anything. What changes, we would like to backtest, like on the tech bull runs, the 2020 COVID era, 2021 inflation fear, and all those data, and how to fix our strategy. So I don't know that. Let's remove it. Let's see if this 2 hour, if our fair value gap holds. Okay, looks like PM session is not giving a good vibe, and wow, maybe I was wrong all the time. 2 hour, we dropped into the 2 hour now, so I can mark this as a 2H, and we even reached the midpoint. Let's see how this day goes. So we start pushing higher. You can see that we have a very good volume imbalance. On the 5 minute, we can see that we're trying to push a bit high, but no big stuff. 30 minute, we'll be waiting before the open. Wait, this wasn't even, it wasn't a new day open, because new day will open somewhere here. So I'll be waiting for 8:30 somewhere here. Yeah, no, 9:30 actually. What's wrong with this? 9:13. Okay. Looks like we are respecting this gap, and we took out the high as we wanted. With the 5 minute, did this session provide an opportunity? I don't see a fair value gap retest, but I can see some lows taken out right here. Oh, fair value gap retested right here. I'm afraid that this time I'm not on the charts, which means I don't think I would have taken any of these entries. So London session is booming. It's pushing pretty high. Even took out this, or we were about to take it, took it out, and this is, wow, this level is probably the next one. So by this time they already started going on the charts. Maybe we can look for an entry on the 5 minute. Okay, liquidity level, equal lows. Ready again, a strong fair value gap retest, maybe, except for this one, which was on Monday and I wasn't on the charts as well. Maybe this one, but I wasn't looking at it, so maybe we wait. And boom, previous weekly high was taken out. So you can see it respected this gap here, from here to here. Good fair value gap right here, which made it push directly towards, so which means our first liquidity level was taken out. Okay, so by the open of New York, we first went a bit rogue by taking out this high and even dropping low into this fair value gap, and now we are dropping. Okay, let's go to the 2 hour to give us an image. So we also took out this buy side liquidity, which means we created the all-time high. I mean, this is nice. This is looking clean. Fair value gap retest right here. And this price action was really clean. Anyways, let's see if we'll get an entry in New York session in this day. So we got our first presented fair value gap retest right here. We got another fair value gap retest right there. So should we enter? Yeah, why not? And you might be wondering where to target. We would have a flexible TP, maybe at 2R, somewhere like here. Because this is a massive bull run, and yeah, we'll TP in a few minutes. Okay, so this fair value gap held, but keep in mind that these are the days before NFP because it's 4th February, which means the Friday of this month will be the first one, so there will be NFP news as well. Okay, you can see this fair value gap a bit holding, this one right here, and it's PM session now. I don't think I need this trade, but this one is also a good setup. One can take it, but not for me. I won't be taking it now. You can see that it provided a good risk to reward right there. And now let's wait for the next day and see if we can get an opportunity. Now market has started to range a bit. We'll mark a shift if we see a 30-minute low taken out, such as this one, but keep in mind we're already in this order block, which means we might be ready to push higher. We are in this 30-minute order block. 30-minute okay, so it's holding a bit. Let's wait for tomorrow, the next day, to come in, and we'll see how we deal with this one. So New London opens, and wow, what a push. Look at this. So in the 5 minute, did we get a fair value gap retest as we wanted? Well, this one isn't a strong one, but you can see that we were consolidating a bit, took out some lows, but we still have sell side liquidity resting here though. Shouldn't ignore that. So now we are still in a massive bull run, and let's wait and see. So what time was this? It's 2020 February. It was in COVID, so we might expect some craziness in the market. Let's see what 9:30 does. Okay, let's play it. Okay, whoa, crazy move. By 9:30 open, and this is our first presented fair value gap right here, which means if we get a retest, which was provided right here, then we might sell back to a POI, which, let's see on the one now if we have a strong POI. We were tapping into this fair value gap, which means that sell will be a bit risky. Yeah, that sell will be risky. I think I'll pass. I'll let this one pass. I can't sell it. I'm not selling it. Let's see if it behaves. So it held, as you can see, but we're still in a high time frame fair value gap. So you can see it's now more consolidating a bit, which was not what we wanted, but it's generating liquidity, some equal lows, trendline lows, something like that, which means if you were to drop, then we'll be targeting this. Okay, let's wait now. Let me get an entry on this one's there. So we push back now into this fair value gap. Will it get respected? Nope. Which means selling will be risky at that point, as we had said it. Like, we were already pushing higher, but if we sold, maybe we would have targeted this order block right here. This one, like this zone here. And since we saw it at the 5 minute that it wanted to drop somewhere here, maybe we would have taken a short trade, but there's no guarantee. Instead of having a doubting trade, then you'd patiently wait and take credit. So this would have been the type of trade. Anyways, let's continue. The 15 minute now. On the 15 minute, you can see that we have very strong sell side here, equal lows. And we are pushing higher. By the start of the next day, we have equal highs here as well, which means this is a strong liquidity point. So now we're shifting. I think we might be retesting like a high time frame POI. Maybe let's see. The 1 hour shows a fair value gap right here, and I think I will take a buy here because, hear me out, we have equal highs, and daily we can see that we can take out this high, then maybe run for this volume imbalance later, and then we go to the 2 hour. This is what I'm looking at. I basically just want a retest of this fair value gap and then we push higher. Let's see what New York does then. So you can see that we're dropping. Let's go to the 30 minute. Sorry, 15. Yeah. And if we see a possible shift, then we can enter. Okay, you see the shift. 5 minute. We got a small low taken out. We shifted in structure. Do we need a fair value gap retest here? We might enter right at this shift, because since it's London session, so we target to take out these highs. I'll be targeting right here. Then my stop loss will be just right here under the first candle of fair value gap. So a low probability trade, which didn't hold, and we ended up drowning. So we save this image as well. So the fair value gap didn't hold. This one, it failed, which means we shifted structure now. Can shift our bias to bearish. You can see that the recent low was taken out. So now the 30 minute. You can see that we've got 30 minute fair value gap right here. Small fair value gap which was retested. 15 minute. Small fair value gap. Now the 5 minute. Big fair value gap which was retested. So you might mark some sell side levels which can be targeted and then look for an entry towards there. First of all, we look for some major levels. So back to the 1 hour. You can see we have this level right here. It's a good liquidity level. We have equal lows right here, and the next strong level, I think this is the the strongest level, and now a stronger level would be like this one, be a good target before we even push higher. So let's see how the market reacts to this. Fair value gap retest. We are still in New York, which means there is a bit of manipulation, but why not take the risk and see if it works during New York session? Liquidity point hasn't been touched. You can see that we were swept out. New York manipulation. But by 9:30, let's see what drop happens. Yep, you can see it by your own eyes, the drop. And lastly, maybe we should have considered putting it above the first candle of the fair value gap, because you can see that obviously it's this order block that we were respecting. Wow, which means a good ideal entry would be right here. A good ideal stop loss, I mean. Anyways, these videos are like to document what I put in my trades, so I have to record my backtesting sessions. It's like journaling. So this fair value gap held, but we had to retest the full block, because when you go to the 15-minute, you can see that there was a good OB right here. Nice, not bad. So an ideal entry would have been somewhere at the retest of the 15-minute fair value gap, just like this, and you fly. Anyways, we didn't get the opportunity to take this trade, but it would have been a good one. So next thing is now to target the next level of liquidity, which might be this one. But with that, we need to rebalance a bit, so that's why it came up here. Another fair value gap, another order block. 5-minute, can we get another entry? Yes, we are in a good order block, so I think we can have a small sell. Maybe we can have a small sell. It's still 10, and on the 5-minute, where's the first presented fair value gap? Where is it? It's here. First presented fair value gap on the 5-minute. Let's see if it holds. So we are currently consolidating, and when you see, consider that our first presented fair value gap was tapped into before we pushed higher. So first we have a sweep. Now we've got a shift, and on the 15-minute it's also clear. Sweep, shift. Now on the 5-minute we've got a sweep, a shift in structure. Now we wait for a fair value gap retest, or an inverse fair value gap retest, or an order block retest. So the next, there's no fair value gap. Maybe we can use this breaker or this one or this order block, but we will have some reasons to push higher. Maybe market will give some reasons. Let's see. Whoa. 15-minute fair value gap, good entry. So dip is here, then this will be a very small trade. You see, we would have targeted here, would have targeted somewhere like under gap, but then wait, you can see this, right? It's breaker right here. For the 15, you can, maybe I think we can minimize the stop loss somewhere here and have a 2R at least. And yeah, we might target this equal highs or even this high, so you never know, man. Let's see. Okay, push. Oh. It's taking long now. And it's starting to take long. I see that it really wants to try to get. Ooh, yeah, equal highs. Did we take out the equal highs? That's the first thing. Equal highs. Let's see. Yep, taken out. And our stop loss is an ideal one, just under this other block, which means 2.5. Not bad. 15-minute block. So I think we now have another all-time high. So when we go back to the 30-minute, you can see it's now, the day has practically ended, so I don't think we can be looking for entries on this day. We'll wait for the next one, which is Friday NFP. So okay, one thing I've noted from this is that days before NFP really align well, really align well. okay, this is one sample test. Maybe we'll continue with other months, but from the backtest that I've had before, if you watch the previous videos, days before NFP turned out to be pretty clean, no crazy manipulation. So let's wait for the next day, Friday, where NFP is there. So I don't think we'll be trading anywhere before, after. But if you find an entry before or after, not just at the NFP, we can take it. I mean, what kills? So we create a fair value gap. Does it hold? Fair value gap holds. Now it's Friday, London session. So Asia lows taken out, drop into another block. Respect it a bit. Target this buy side liquidity. That's what NFP does. Yo, this is really crazy. Look at NFP candle. When you go to the 5 minute, look at this. You spike literally, pew pew, the highs, the lows. But this wasn't really bad according to what I've seen way worse, and I've even traded news, so not really that much. So London lows, pew, taken out. Yeah, and we continue to push higher. And we get a shift, inverse fair value gap. So we've got an inverse fair value gap here. Inversion fair value gap. Push higher, drop back into it on this candle, which means we can just have an entry in the New York session. And then we target this high, this one, 2.5 hour. So you can see we drop right into the inverse fair value gap, clean drop into the inverse fair value gap, then we push higher. This trade is clean. This trade is clean. By all means, this trade is clean. Okay, and you can see how just a week hit TP. Wow, it's crazy. I think this was a little bit out of context. See this high? Okay, we generated equal highs because there was no big push above it. You can see that this is just liquidity resting there, even though this was a good trade, but there was also some liquidity generation. Where is it? Okay, so we also have some of the equals right here. Okay, I think this is a new week, so let's really do the analysis how I usually do it as the week starts. So weekly. Last week was pretty clean, pretty clean. You can see how it took out these highs, out these lows. So if you want this week to be bullish, you just want to take out this high, this one. So if we will be bearish, we will take out now just this low, this one right here. just high, previous weekly low, and go down to the 4 hour. You can see, let's see if you can spot some obvious strong levels that are holding good order block, which is on the previous weekly low right here. For order block, when we go back to the daily a bit, we can see, okay, we actually had even marked this in the session before. We have this big gap, which we think filling it might be a good option and maybe reach the consequent encroachment of it, which is right here. So the target level would be this one. This and go back to the 4 hour and mark this as daily fair value gap consequent encroachment level. Yeah, let's just make it like this. We'll go to the 2 hour. You can see that this fair value gap was a good one last week. This setup is a good one. Did I take this one? I don't really remember it, but it looks clean. So if we were to sell, we might target this level and maybe take out these lows. Yeah, these ones. Okay, so let's go to the 1 hour now. So quite a small range. We might have a market maker sell model until we reach this daily consequent encroachment. 15. Let's now wait for the open. So you can see we took out these lows from Thursday, shifted in structure, created a fair value gap. And we drop right into the fair value gap, bounce off of it. And boom, we just take out this previous weekly high. Hit 5 minute, provide an opportunity. Unfortunately not. First presented fair value gap on the 5 minute. 1 minute provide opportunity. Nope, absolutely not. First presented fair value gap, not retested. So just want entries on the 5 minute. We didn't get one, but maybe we'll get one. Let's just wait and see. So generate a low. Let's see if it gets taken out. If it was liquidity generation just happening. So PM session, things are going way too fast. The day ends with no entry. So it's still February, COVID. Drop into the 1 hour fair value gap. By Monday, we're dropping into the 1 hour fair value gap a bit. Tuesday, it has now also opened. London session drops into the 1 hour fair value gap, and I'll pause a bit. Let's see. We're still London. And before we go any further, which means you just want to drop into this fair value gap of from the 1 hour, and then after respecting it, good takeout of a low, we would get a fair value gap entry, probably new session. We've got a new inverse fair value gap here. Do you see this? Man. Inverse fair value gap. Inversion fair value gap. We've got a sweep. We are on a high time frame PI, we are on a fair value gap from the 1 hour. We've got a sweep. We've also got a shift right here. Now an inversion fair value gap retest, which means I might have an entry in London. I don't know why my brain doesn't quite reason with the London session. I put it here because this was the third candle of the inversion fair value gap. This is where this is the low. So I target this high, or this one, or even this one. Let me target this one and see the reaction. Okay, let's see buy the open. Wow, crazy move. What the? Do you see this? The moment we were tagged in, 9:25, 9:30, very sharp drop. This is where really taking trades in London, it's kind of risky. This was a manipulation to some people, and then boom, we drop as crazy. Not bad. So you can see that we took out this high. Okay, kind of generated equal highs, but we tagged the bag. That's what we wanted. And yeah, we will be back for another backtesting session. Thanks for tuning in today. Wait a minute. Let me go back to the 5 minute. You can see that when it dropped below, we took up this liquidity. Did we take out this low? Yes. Let's go now to the 15 minute of it. I want to show you something. I think I downloaded this image. Yeah, I have it. So we can basically just delete this. You can see that we swept this low. Lately, I've been rhyming out. My shame, no. Yeah, you had the saying, if it ain't broke, equal highs. Okay, so do we get a trade? Okay, 5 minutes, I can see something. I can sense something. We've got an inverse fair value gap. We push into it. And we create a small fair value gap, gets respected a bit, and create another one right here. And we obviously push even more higher. So an ideal entry would have been at this one, but actually this isn't how dumb of me. The first presented fair value gap is this one, as you see here, and you can enter just at the reaction from the first presented fair value gap, but your stop loss might be a bit longer, because obviously, why not? Because this is where the candle was, except if you want to look at it on the 1 minute perspective, whereby then you'd like to put here's another entry, then you'd like to put it somewhere. There's no fair value gap, test it right here. and for the 1 minute this was the first presented fair value gap, which became an inversion fair value gap. This is really nice. Silver bullet is for real. Chef's kiss. We put this here in the OTP. We usually would like to target these highs, but yeah, we didn't spot this entry beforehand, and it looks like we can see another one right here. We can see another fair value gap forming right there. Gets disrespected, most probably because there's no order block. Wow, what a move. I can expect this one to be respected though. You see, we have a fair value gap, order block, so maybe this one will push through. Oh god, I am in the 1 minute. Let's see if the 1 minute will give me an edge. No, this one trade can determine the whole edge, but we can show some stuff. Yeah, bye. Anyways, I guess this was a really long session, but I enjoyed it, and I hope you did as well. And until we meet again on 21st May, tomorrow, Lord willing, be safe and keep grinding.